side of this.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Common Sense Horsemanship at Blue Moon Ranch. Today I'm going to show you guys how to put on a saddle the right way. Now I'm using a Western saddle. This is what I ride in. It's a rancher style high back belly cook saddle. This is going to apply though even if you're riding English or in an Australian stock saddle. Any other type of saddle variation that's out there. There's a lot of them. Now, first things first, you need to make sure that you have the proper equipment before you go to saddle your horse. This style saddle pad goes with this Western saddle. Do not put an English saddle pad underneath a Western saddle. An English saddle is made a lot lighter. The saddle here weighs 48 pounds. An English saddle doesn't weigh anywhere near that. For those reasons, Western saddle pads are made a lot heavier than an English saddle pad. So don't go putting weird stuff underneath saddles that it doesn't belong under. It's a good way to hurt your horse. Now today's video is really important because if you don't saddle your horse appropriately and in specific order, you can really end up hurting yourself if something went sideways and, more importantly, almost to me, injuring your horse. So I'm going to show you the right way to do this. We're going to learn together. Now this saddle pad, this is a saddle pad and saddle blanket mixed together. They're sewn together. This is a wool saddle pad with a wool blanket sewn on the top. This is made by Showman. They're actually pretty affordable. I think I got this on eBay brand new for maybe $40. You can sometimes find real good deals like that if you know how to shop around. Now, in order to put my saddle pad on, I'm just going to walk up to my horse here, put my saddle pad on. I don't walk up to him scared of him because then he's going to freak out. I see a lot of that happen. Sometimes people walk up ouchie around their horse. Oh, whoa, buddy, whoa. Your horse doesn't know what in the heck you're about to do, so he's going to act up and move off to the side when you go to put your saddle pad on. Don't do that. Be confident around your horse. Hey, buddy, I'm here. Put your saddle pad on. Let's do this. You're confident, the horse will be confident. Next, we're going to put our saddle on. We're going to throw this over. Just like that. Now you see how I took that saddle from there to there. I didn't even stop and think about it. I didn't let Chief sniff it first. I didn't do any of that. I put the saddle on my horse because that's what we're doing today. That's how you need to be around your horse. Confident and a leader. If you're always a leader around your horse, he will always trust you and depend on you and be good. Now, next thing we're going to do to saddle this horse, we need to put all this on the other side of this horse. We need to drop it down. I'm not going to flop it over from this side because it can bang up against his side. So I'm going to be nice to my horse. Around him and show him respect, put my stuff down from that side instead of flopping it over, hitting him in the sides. Okay, when I go to cinch up my horse, I'm going to put my stirrup up here. Mine are too short to just flop over. A lot of people can just flop their stirrup over. I wish I could do that, but mine are pretty short, so I have to hook it on my saddle horn. Make sure that doesn't come off accidentally and whack you in the head. This is the front part of your cinch. This is called your front billet. You're going to undo this thing, get your cinch under here, put it through your cinch. This is the first part of the saddle that you're going to cinch up and put on. Now I'm not going to cinch Chief up real tight right now. Tight enough. It's tight under there. This saddle isn't going to go sliding off if he were to shake because of a fly or move. Now notice what I use here. Keep that there just for right now. We're going to hook it up here later when I tighten him up. This is leather. This cinch right here, This is an Alpaca Cinch. I use mohair or alpaca only. I do not buy cheap cotton cinches. I have actually soared a horse with a cheap cotton cinch before. Happened one time, and ever since then, I bought an alpaca or mohair cinch for each one of my horses. Now I have 9 horses, so yes, that was 9 cinches, and that was almost $100 a cinch, but I'm not going to buy cheap crap that's going to hurt my horse. You'll notice the horse can get sore right in here, in this part, if you have an inappropriate cinch that's rubbing on him or her. Now, since I did that part, I'm going to lube this down. I'm going to do the back cinch next. This back cinch should be snug but not tight. I see back cinches like this all the time. What this does, this creates an accident. My horse went to kick at a fly under there. This cinch is really loose. He can get his leg hooked up under there. And that would cause one heck of a bad wreck. So because I don't want to wreck and I don't want to get hurt, and I love my horse and I don't want him to get hurt, I'm going to do this right. And I'm going to cinch this thing up to where it's snug but not tight. See how it can still move there? You don't want to cinch him up super tight like a bronco. Okay, snug but not tight. Now, what we've done here is we have put the saddle on our horse, most important part first, which is this front cinch. If you're riding in an English saddle, you probably only have a front cinch. You might have a back cinch. You always put your front cinch on first. There is no other way around it. There's no other right way. This is not up for debate. Front cinch goes on first. Here's why. I put my back cinch on first, and this is not on my horse tight, or not on him at all. If he were to pull back because maybe he got spooked by something that come out the brush over here, that saddle has no way of staying on my horse. This does not actually keep my saddle on my horse's body securely. This saddle can fly backwards, get tangled up in his back legs, and he could potentially break his leg. We all know that a broken leg on a horse is kind of an end of the road type of situation. So we're going to avoid that. We're going to do this right. Front cinch goes on first, no matter what other stuff you got on your saddle. Next is the back cinch, because this is next most important to me. Last, I have a breast collar. There's many different styles of these. This one's called a tripping collar. I'll explain to you in a second what that means. Now my saddle has these little fancy D-rings right here that are made to have a breast collar go on this saddle. If I didn't have these, you either don't ride with a breast collar, or you can attach this to the big D-ring right here. I don't really like to do that. Now this should be snug but not tight. This is snug but not tight. Some breast collars have another little strap right here that goes between the horse's front legs and hooks to this front small D-ring on your cinch. This one doesn't have that because it's called a tripping collar. This is for roping if you're roping calves or little steers. Now, the other function of a breast collar could be if you're riding in very mountainous terrain. This keeps your saddle from sliding back. And if I were to be riding in very mountainous terrain, I would suggest a different type of breast collar that's just for that, and it would be more snug than this. Back cinch also helps if you're in real mountainous terrain and you're going down steep hills, for your saddle not to flip up in the back too much. It just helps keep everything where it should be on your horse. Now before I go ride, I'm going to cinch my horse up a little more. Put this tail in this keeper. That's what this keeper's for. Now we're ready to go ride. So that's how you saddle up your horse, right, and the first time. Now that we got horse saddled up, let's talk about how to take the saddle off appropriately. And this is just as important as saddling your horse up right. The first time, taking all of your stuff off in the right order also helps prevent anything from going on with your horse. It prevents injury to your horse or you. You just never know. So when we put the saddle on, let's have a little reminder. We put everything on the most important parts first. The front cinch went on first, the back cinch went on second, the breast collar went on third. And you may not have this part on your saddle. Now, to take it off, we rewind and do exactly the opposite. We take the least important stuff off first. Now, most breast collars have a strap that comes from right here between the horse's legs and hooks under this little miniature D-ring under here on your cinch. Take that part off first if you have it. Unsnap it. Mine doesn't have that. It's a tripping collar. The next thing we're going to do is take this breast collar off. This is not that important when we're standing here. It does nothing to keep my saddle on while I'm standing here. Put this over the top of your saddle. Next part. What is the next least important part of your saddle? Your back cinch. You're going to take this off next. Hook that, just like that. We do everything from the left side of the horse. Next thing, we're going to take this front cinch off. Unhook this. Unwind it. And I'm going to put this up right. I'm going to show you what the appropriate thing is to do with this front cinch billet. You do not throw it over your horse like this. You do not do that. This is lazy and this is messy. This also gets this thing in a kink when you put your saddle on. This is the right way to do things, and it keeps your saddle neat and it keeps your saddle nice for a very long time. I'm going to flip my stirrup up here so you can see this better. I'm going to take this tail end of this front billet and I'm going to put it in a little fold like this. That fold is going to come through my D-ring and it's going to come down. So now I have two folds. See, just like this. Make them even length, both of them. I still have this tail part hanging out here. I'm going to take my tail, wrap it around the top of the little cinch billet folds, and then tuck it up, behind, and through my D-ring. Pull that snug. Now take this little tail and go underneath this wrap that I made. Just like that, okay? Now, I'll put my stirrup down, and I'm going to go around the back of my horse and flip my cinch, my front cinch and my back cinch over. If you're tall enough, you can probably reach over your horse and flip it all over. Obviously, I'm not. That's how we do it. Now, I have unsaddled my horse safely and the right way the first time, protecting my horse and me from any type of incident that might happen. I'm going to take my stuff off all at once and put it over here on my hitching post. And now you know how to unsaddle your horse. The next thing that you do is brush off your horse after you rode him. Tell him he's a really good boy. This Chief is a really good boy. Alright, well that's all Chief and I have for you today. How to safely saddle your horse and unsaddle your horse. Do things the right way every time. Don't be lazy. You'll always have a good ride. Catch you next time, guys. Bye.